All right, everybody, we're back with the Bass Bros podcast. I'm here with my brother Philip and our guest Michael Haro from Grimyfish Company. Super excited. Am I sounding too professional during my thing?
A little bit, yeah.
It sounds fake.
You sound fake.
All right, well, I don't know. I don't know how to sound genuine. I'm a fake guy. Just kidding. But we're here. We're here with Mike. I'm so excited to have you on, Mike. Your clothing line is awesome. I got a shirt through Mike's fishing adventures at one of his tournaments, and all I got on that shirt were compliments from people who don't even fish. My wife loves them. People I work with love them. And I'm just excited to get to know you, kind of figure out where you came up with the idea for Grimyfish. And I know you're a saltwater dude. I see your tournament coming up on September 30th, which we might fish. We're excited about that because we haven't gotten into that salty bass tournament lifestyle at all. But yeah, how did you come up with Grimyfish? Are you from the Long Beach? Are you original? Are you originated from Long Beach area?
Not Long Beach, but yes, the Long Beach area. You could say the South Bay.
Yeah.
And the way I started Grimyfish, it was just like me chilling at the pad. You know, work's getting slow. It was just like I had some extra money.
Yeah.
Trying to see what I could make, just come up with it.
Yeah.
I fished my whole life, so when I actually started getting into it, a lot of my friends were like, "Hey, just do it. You should just go with it." But my whole goal was like to, not just for fishing, for people could wear it, just when you go out, period. When you go out, just to a party or just to chill, and that's the whole goal. Like to just when people look at it, it's like, that's mind blowing, and
Yeah. And I think that translated over well because, like I said, all my friends love your stuff. I was talking to you like, man, can we put out like a Bass Bros t-shirt in your style? Maybe we can get that going because I literally love your stuff, man. It's
Thank you, man.
so cool. And so you said you've been fishing your whole life. What'd you grow up fishing? How'd you get started?
Couple of my older cousins used to take me to Redondo Beach, just the basic piers, and then didn't know what was the really meaning of the fishing.
Yeah.
And when I started getting older and start realizing what it was about, and the next start going off, start learning lures, how to use them, how to use drop shots. I was telling your brother earlier too. It was like after that, it was just mind blowing. Like, I really could catch a big fish off of plastics more than bait,
Yeah.
And after that, it was just like I said, mind blowing.
That's cool, Philip. He grew up in our our beach.
That's where we started.
Yeah.
Redondo Beach, dude. Yeah. So we'd go down and start surf fishing before school. We always had like a tradition where if we caught a corvina or something, we'd go home, eat that for breakfast, then go to school. If we didn't catch a corvina, we were at Captain Kidd's having fried squid for breakfast.
Yeah, Captain Kidd's calamari breakfast, which is weird that they served it that early. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
we both started working fishing boats out of Redondo, and then I think the funnest part of our fishing in Redondo was sneaking around at night catching spotted bay bass. That was a blast.
That was really cool, which is a great segment, Philip. Great segment into
Segue.
segue. That's okay. Mike was worried about tripping on it. This is Mike's first podcast, and I know it sounds like my first podcast. It's gonna sound like for the rest of my podcast that it's my first podcast, but that is a good segue, Philip. Into saltwater
Just said
bass
podcast like
fishing.
12 times.
I know, dude. I don't know. I'm trying to act like I know what I'm doing. So yeah, when did you? Are those your tournaments that you put on in that saltwater?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some is from helps from other small businesses.
Yeah.
As like fishing, sometimes food.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's fishing,
Mhm.
But just other helps from other partners. Just want to have fun and go out there because a lot of people be hesitating to go at night.
Yeah.
Because of that reason at night.
Yeah.
And a lot of kayakers, I don't know, they're just scared. I
That's
guess
me, dude.
They're not ready. I guess they're not ready.
I'm not even scared of stuff that you should be scared of. I'm just scared of like a seal popping.
The
up
last
or
thing that
anything.
we want to do is flip our kayak and
At
be
night.
in the water.
Yeah,
Whether
no.
there's anything around us or not, we're going to freak out.
Yeah, even at the lake, when there's nothing there.
Yeah.
If something touches our toe, we're freaked out.
100%.
Yeah, I had a friend who flipped at like 3 a.m,
Oof.
and it took us like 2 hours to bring him to the Queen Mary, even to the brick wall right
He was
there.
just in the water for
in the
2
water.
hours.
He tried to flip the kayak. He was struggling,
Yeah.
and he has like sweats, and you're cold
you're
in the
heavy.
morning,
Yeah.
I told him, take all your clothes off. He didn't want to listen. Told him, just here's a rope, and I'm just going to pull you over there. Just hold the kayak.
Yeah.
We pulled him all over there.
Jeez, I'd feel like a trolling lure.
And it was.
I would take my clothes off immediately, dude.
Yeah.
I would just get out of that
Get
water.
me out of the water.
Yeah.
It was cold. I know it was cold.
Yeah, that makes sense. So September 30th, you have a tournament going on, and I kind of want to go through what people can expect from one of your tournaments. So people come September 30th. I believe it's a Wednesday night, right?
No, it's
Oh, I screwed that up already.
Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday.
night.
Oh, perfect. That's really cool. So everybody can make it, right?
Yeah, everybody can make it.
That's awesome. So what can you expect? You show up, you check in. How's the what's the process
Sometimes
like?
if you get there early, we're chilling. You can talk about fishing, talk whatever you want to talk about. I pass out the tickets. You tell them what's going on. The biggest bass wins everything. I like doing it like that because like sometimes you'll catch a lot of 14 inchers, 15 inchers, and like it's busy. It's too much for the person who's doing all the back work.
To
know?
add up all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I've been the host of tournaments, and that can be rough, especially when you're not really great at math.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's pretty fun. I have a Martin. He's donating a bass rod, a combo, basically a reel. I have
Nice.
What is that? A garbage. Can't say the word. Gabby Garcia rod.
Yeah.
A reel.
Abu Garcia, right? Yeah.
It's a 300, and a lot of people come out there and they get stuff, for fishing.
Yeah.
The whole point is bringing everybody out to have a good time.
Yeah.
And get some friends out there on the water at night and try to break people's comfort zone as fishing at night because to me, all my biggest fish, all my big bass is at night.
Yeah.
They're night hunters, they're predators. Same thing with the halibuts. My biggest halibuts was at night.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's out
go
of
ahead.
where? What's the location of this tournament? Where does it start? And what are the limits?
South Shore, Long Beach, boat ramp. You guys familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And can you fish that whole marina or harbor
yeah, the whole marina.
as long as you're in on time?
Yeah. You could go farther if you have that's the benefit of the scouts. I kind of try to make it even with the kayakers and the scouters. The reason why I throw the scouters out there.
What is a scouter? I'm
It's like inflatable, like looks like a kayak, a big kayak. With a
Oh,
motor
okay.
at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My friends are all into it, but I'm into the kayak. I like kayaking.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm on. But they could get to the wall fast right there. But you got that Cream Mary side. You got the marina. You have a good little fishing spot right there in Long Beach.
Yeah.
I sleep on Long Beach because I'm so close on the other side of I'm on San Pedro, so it's like down the
Gotcha.
street from me,
Mm-hmm.
And I sleep on Redondo. I want to go hit Redondo because I heard a lot of good things about Redondo. It just when I get out there, it's always windy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the record spotted bay bass is still caught. No, they broke the record was held out of King Harbor for a while, and I think it was
Redondo,
and I think it was like
What? Did I
King
screw you
Harbor's
up?
Redondo.
Yeah.
I know, but some people don't know that. Some people don't know that.
You screwed me up. It was held there for a long time, and I think it was around 6 or 7 pounds. And then someone broke the spotted bay bass record on a long-range fishing trip, dropper looping for rockfish.
That could have been me.
It was
dude.
like an 8-pound spotty. It's huge.
Mind blowing right there.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
But I mean, the fact that Redondo, being such a small harbor, held that record for so long. There's still good genetics there, but if you look at Long Beach, how much bigger that harbor is, there's got to be a monster in there too.
Yeah, I'm sure you've ran into some big fish out in Long Beach and San Pedro area, right?
Yeah,
I mean-
Pedro hosts some hitting gyms right there.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do.
So everybody launches at the same time, right?
Same time, you want to get out there and get a head start on mine it, just
Yeah.
especially for the kayakers because
Mhm.
some has paddle drive, or you're out there struggling.
Yeah, I feel that. So it's more of a relaxed kind of
Yeah.
friendly tournament, which is
Hopefully
what we
it is.
love.
Some people get competitive. I don't blame them.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I feel that. So everybody launches, they go to their spots, and someone catches a fish. What happens at that point?
So
How do you measure?
Bump board, 15 inches. Bump board, 15 inches. Like I said, or if they catch a bigger fish than that or small, like whatever fish they have big, just send in the biggest fish they have.
Yeah, so even if it's like a 9-incher.
No, don't send that.
Okay, that's got to be
it has
15
to
plus.
15 plus.
Got you.
And yeah, you can send multiples, but also you only have to keep that one
Big one.
One big one.
Got you.
Yeah.
And so, how do you get a bump board? Do you just get them online, or do people bring their own, or do you guys have them?
I don't have none,
Yeah.
but you can bring your own,
Mhm.
or you can order on Amazon or go to your tackle stores, whatever near them,
Yeah.
and that's really it.
That's cool.
Really short, simple.
Yeah.
You know.
And it starts at what time and ends at what time?
I don't even know. It starts at 6:30 and ends at 10.
10.
Okay, it's a
Perfect.
good little chunk of time.
Yeah.
What
and not
what
getting home too
species
late.
is only bass?
Only bass.
So
Only
spotted
bass.
bay bass, calico bass, sand bass.
Yes, sir.
What usually takes the dub?
Honestly, sometimes a spotty.
Really, a big
Sometimes,
spotty?
Yeah, I seen a lot of tournaments. Not just mine. I seen a lot of tournaments will do the same thing, and it's the spotties. And honestly, it'll be the people who shore pounding will win it.
Oh, really?
I trip out on that a lot.
So you guys are open to people that are out there on float tubes, kayaks, land base. Can center consoles fish it?
Not this tournament.
Yeah.
But people has been doing
Yeah.
it. You know, like
Yeah.
I just try to make it small because it's different movements. A lot of people like shore pounding it. A lot of people like kayaking it, float tubing it.
Yeah.
It's
Those float tubers, man, the set they got to have on them, man, to have their legs in the water all night. I'd be terrified.
Yeah. I'm out. Like I
Doing that, dude.
I just realized you could fish off the shore. I'm like, I'm doing that. Like,
Going
let's
out.
do that.
But dude, I mean that kayak going out there and you brought up the wall earlier. That wall's magical at night, dude. I've seen some photos of guys with calicos over 10 pounds pulled off that wall.
Jesus.
Nighttime fishing. And then I don't know if I'm giving it away or not, but one of my favorite techniques in freshwater fishing is punching.
Yeah.
And that's something that you can do along that wall in the kelp with flukes. You punch it with 65-pound braid and just rip those calicos out. I went out with Richard's kid, and we went and just flipped all night. We must have had over 100 calico bass, and like our biggest being about a 7-pounder, just punching kelp, man. And you know when you're bit because you go to put it in gear and your rod just goes down.
Yeah, they're a different animal than these freshwater bass.
100%. Like I don't think there's a freshwater fish that could match the fight on the weakest saltwater bass.
Maybe a smallie.
I don't think so.
On the weakest?
On the weakest? What's the weakest bass?
I don't know, a sand bass?
Okay. I would put a 3-pound sand bass up against a 5-pound smallmouth any day.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Any day. Dude, you're fishing heavier line, right?
For what?
For sand bass. You're fishing
Yes.
heavier line, and versus that lighter line with the smallmouth, the sand bass will snap it, no problem. Like if you fish 6-pound for a sand bass, you're gonna break it off. If you fish 6-pound for a smallmouth, you're not gonna break it off.
Yeah, but is that because of structure or fight?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with both.
I don't know. We need to get the science on this, though.
I'm telling you right now, saltwater bass, no problem.
I fish when I go on my kayaks when I hit the wall. Because if you know San Pedro Pier 400, it's that longshoreman wall right there. It wraps around before you hit out of the harbor.
Yeah.
So most of the time we fish that whole wall. Since I was growing up, my friends have boats and stuff like that. We'll go up, fish it before everybody starts. Like before like a lot like I'm talking about old timers where I used to go with. And we go right there and we'll kill it with sand bass, where they're using like how you said like 40, almost 35. 30 pound test. But when I go out there, I'm using sometimes freshwater gear.
Yeah.
I just beef it up with saltwater stuff.
That kind of brings me to what kind of baits are working out there and what kind of translates over from fresh to salt. I was thinking, like, if I were to fish your tournament, I'd be comfortable throwing an A-rig, maybe a square bill crankbait, probably a spinner bait. I've drop shotted them before. What else? How else did we catch them? Single swim bait.
Spinner baits.
Yeah, single swim baits are staple, right?
Mm-hmm. Chatterbait.
You've caught them on chatterbait?
Yep.
Damn.
Deep divers. They love the deep diver on the wall.
What do you usually throw, Mike? If you're gonna go win that tournament tomorrow, you don't have to give away everything, obviously. But
Nah, I don't mind.
yeah, what do
Big
you like
flukes,
to throw?
Anything big.
Oh, really?
Plastics. My favorite's flukes.
When you
Yeah.
say big fluke, how many inches?
4 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
The mega baits, like,
Yeah.
they're big.
Yeah. And then how do you rig that?
Lead head or Texas rig it. It's just like freshwater,
Yeah.
Bullet head. Throw it to
Yeah.
the bottom. Sometimes you catch that current on your kayak.
Yeah.
Just drop it on the bottom. Just pop it, and bam.
Damn, that's super cool.
I have an idea, because I love you. You seem so relaxed, and it's perfect. But I think just so you're more comfortable, can you extend the mic so
Towards
the mic doesn't have to like move forward?
Yeah, it might. Does that
Right
thing
here?
twist out?
Just like however
It
you're
might
gonna
just
sit
pull out.
naturally. Oh, it does work.
Okay, I just don't want to break it.
No, you're nice. Don't worry.
No, yeah,
Catch it
it's
when
kind of
it's
stiff. I don't know why. I just
So
barely
that
put it
good?
together.
and then if you don't want to lean forward, that's fine. So lean back and then maybe pull it to you. Yeah, let's try that.
All right.
Because that might be like way more comfortable, I think.
I got to burp before we start
Oh
again.
my god,
Hurry up.
Sparkling water.
beautiful.
What are we talking about?
Thanks, guys.
No worries.
Oh yeah, so you do flukes, bullet head, lead head. That all
Swim
works pretty good.
Swim baits work good.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll fish all night and I won't catch nothing. And my buddy next to me, he would use like a hookup bait or a tube or whatever they're using, like especially the hookup baits.
Yeah.
They're really good on the water.
Yeah, our little brother loves throwing
the
those.
hookup baits.
Yeah.
Or anything like a tube, a minute, I don't know, something about them. They just hit to the bottom fast,
Yeah.
stay in the column longer.
It's probably a really efficient way to cover ground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Probably
they're
looks
solid,
like,
you know?
Yeah,
They're solid.
looks like a little crustacean too. So a lot of those bass are eating that in there.
Yeah. And so are you covering a ton of ground? Are you honing in on spots that you've caught fish? What's kind of the deal for those saltwater bass? Or does it depend?
Certain spots we know on that wall because we dial in on so much. It's like
Yeah.
when you don't fish that spot for like a month or two, you still gotta go back and figure it out. The fish might act different, or they moved away from that spot. Or,
Yeah.
overfished because people do hit that spot. A lot of the times.
Yeah. I just realized I still have my sunglasses on, and Philip's used to it, so he hasn't called me out on it. But I lost my prescription glasses, Mike, so this is the only way I can see. My vision's terrible, but I have prescription sunglasses.
We were out in the boat this morning in the dark.
Yeah.
And he's wearing those. I go, dude, look at all this shad coming to me because I can't see him.
I could barely see anything.
It's like that
when
one
it's
guy in
dark.
the club who has the glasses on.
Yeah.
Like, take your glasses
Yeah,
off, bro.
exactly,
Night.
dude. Sometimes I'll walk into the gym with them on, and I'll be like, "Oh, jeez!" That's got to be like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Seeing someone go into the gym with
You should just
sunglasses.
start acting like you are blind with this cane and everything.
I am, dude.
but-
I am blind. With that, I mean, I might as well. Yeah, you're right. You can get away with a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today we're going to be doing some freshwater fishing, and we kind of dialed in a bite last week with Tom. He was on the podcast, skipping Senkos under docks, and pretty consistent bite. Not every fish, like you'll catch a lot of little ones, but you will get a 4-pounder plus every now and then. So we could probably get on some 4-pounders today. I don't want to. We're gonna shoot and film, so I don't want to like say we're gonna get you a
Right.
4-pounder. But have you ever skipped a Senko or done any skipping?
No.
Don't worry, Philip's. Well, Philip's gonna try to teach you.
It's pretty simple.
It's
dude.
very simple. After an hour, you'll have it down like this.
Mhm.
Kaylin, my wife, was skipping after like 5 minutes. She was skipping it under a dock.
Boy, you're really
off
putting the
dock.
pressure on him.
What do you mean? Oh, no. She's a great fisherman, though. But what I'm saying is you'll get it dialed in, and it's a pretty cool bite because then once you learn that skill, which is, it's like I said, not very hard to learn. Can you use that for saltwater, Philip, or no?
Yeah, well, I mean, like when you're fishing around like pillars or docks as well, you
You
can
just flip it under, right? I was
Exactly.
gonna say the same thing. It's like flipping flukes and
Yeah.
swim baits under there. Sometimes you flip a swim bait and it's like 5 inches. Go to the bottom, you're getting smacked by a sculpin or something. It's big fish in the harbor. People don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, do people skip docks in saltwater fishing?
I'm
or no?
sure they do, but for the most part, you're fishing on. It depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like when we go down and fish spotted bay bass and we're fishing from the docks, we'll just drop it right down on those pylons. I'm sure if you skipped your baits under there and let it sink on a pylon, you'll get bit just as good.
Yeah, because you could probably skip flukes pretty easily under those.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. So, yeah, we're going to get you skipping docks today. Hopefully you'll get into a nicer one. And it should be pretty fun. What do you think? But what else do you want to do out there besides that? If that doesn't work, what's plan B?
Well, I love there's a point out there that I love. It's a deep point, and it's got a good rock ledge that goes all the way around in like a U shape almost. And it's probably got 20 feet of water on it.
Yeah.
They love setting up on that ledge, so like a jig on that ledge, drop shot, deep diver, all that stuff's fun. But right now, when it's hot out like this, they usually suck up under those docks getting that shade.
Yeah, and Mike, this place is a place where any cast could be a 10-pounder. And we had a 9.6 this year,
Too.
and I think like a 9 3/4,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So we almost got that 10-pounder this year, but not quite yet. But I mean, this is the place. the consistency here on the fish is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think like the lake record here is 16 or 17.
Yeah, there's some teeners in here. Haven't run into any of those.
Bluegill,
obviously.
crappie, like we were talking earlier.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
If
But
we can get on that, I'm
And
down for
there's
that
some
too.
big bluegill in here. Like,
Pumped up. You guys getting me pumped up? For
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast, dude.
Yeah, I haven't fished for freshwater probably. The last time I fished Alondra Park.
Yeah.
And I brought a 5-pounder out of there, a spinnerbait with a treble tail, whatever with it. Like
Yeah.
a tail,
Mhm.
grub
Mhm.
right behind it.
I caught one on that this morning.
yeah,
Yeah, in the dark. But yeah, so it's gonna be super fun. We grew up on Alondra too.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You're
We're
all
down
over our
Alondra.
stomping grounds. That's
Yeah.
what I caught my
We
first
must have
freshwater
run
bass
into
in
'em.
Alondra. Yeah, I think you were at Mike's Fish when Mike hosted
Oh,
that tournament at
yeah,
Alondra.
yeah. That's how I got the shirt, right?
I gave him some T-shirts. I seen
Yeah.
him doing it. And I seen a lot of people. That was when I first started like realizing the little movement in small businesses.
Yeah.
Seeing a couple, I was like, I never knew.
Yeah.
When I seen it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think us all collaborating together and lifting each other up is a great way to kind of get going in the industry.
Right,
Getting our name
100%.
out
Work
there.
together.
Yeah,
There's enough in it for
exactly.
everybody.
Exactly. And then that kind of brings me back to like your company. How can people get your stuff? What's the best way for people to do that? Is it via Instagram, social
Instagram
media?
right now.
Mhm.
I'm working on my my website. I've just been slacking on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I've been slacking on, just going with it, going with the flow.
From someone who knows trying to do this thing while doing 2 other jobs, it's hard
Yeah.
to make the time for it, especially when you want to come home and just chill out, you know,
Mhm.
after work. Philip doesn't do anything because he works such a hard job.
Don't do shit. I just come here to drink their beers and catch fish.
Yeah, but yeah. So if people want to order a shirt, they just hit you up on Instagram, message
Yeah.
you. Got you.
Message
Perfect.
me. I'll try to get back at you as soon as possible. Sometimes I'll just look at the message and I'll text you later on that night because I'm so busy at work, you know. And I'm a plumber, so I don't like touching my personal stuff with that type of stuff on my hands, you know.
Yeah.
But I will get back at you as soon as possible.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Poo-poo
that's
hands.
super awesome. Now, have you gotten into any of this tuna fishing at all? Or gone out in any of those boats?
No, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I don't have the gear. Oh, I do have gear, but being around older fishermen, the old timers, because they're ass. Some of them are assholes. You know?
Yeah,
like,
they'll let you know if you're messing up.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
know,
Yeah.
going
I've
on,
been chewed out so many times, dude.
going on a boat and
Combat fishing.
yeah, and you know, and getting. I don't want to look like that one guy, you know, like.
I got
But I am ready.
Yeah, I got my ass chewed by Jeff Jessup for hooking a bluefin on a
Bass
stick.
rod. That was so funny.
I was gonna land that, but and he made me break it, and he made me so mad, dude. It was like, damn, dude, I wanted to catch that bluefin so bad.
Yeah, but it was.
But it would have taken too long.
Yeah,
Jeff was right.
And you got breezers. Like the tuna aren't staying in one spot.
That was the only way I could hit him is with that bass
Yeah,
stick.
and so he had that bass rod. Okay, it wasn't a bass rod. Let's
Was
make
it?
that clear. It's a. When they call it a bass rod, it's because it's got the guide on, wind on.
Oh, yeah.
They don't
no,
like
I
those-
see what you're saying.
Like
It was
a
like
bait
a
caster,
heavier
right?
one of
Right,
those.
that's
It's
Yeah.
a bait caster. It's a heavier version of that.
Yeah.
If you said it was a calico bass rod, 100%. Yeah.
That's
but-
what I think it was. Like a
Yeah.
light yellowtail, heavier.
But the
calico.
reason he wanted to move or break that fish off is because these fish you're on them, and then you get a couple baits on them. People hook up, land those fish, and then you got to run on them again.
Yeah.
So with the bass rod, that's like a 2-hour fight.
I wanted to be all about me on that boat.
What boat don't you want that?
I don't actually hate attention, so which is ironic doing a podcast.
I love, just you can just bring the arm of the mic closer to you if you want to.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're
don't
good,
even-
dude.
You're good.
That's because you're relaxing, but you're just getting away from it. So
Okay.
just bring it that bad boy as close as you can.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. I know it's weird.
Good to go. All right, so plan is go out, see if we can get you on some freshwater bass, and then we're going to hopefully make your tournament. Now that shore pounding's on the table, I'm like totally in. We just got to go buy a bump board. That's September 30th. It is a Saturday. It's going to be super fun. Philip, do you have any other questions or ideas that you would like to delight our viewers with?
I love spotted bay bass fishing.
Yeah, you dial it in because you're better at saltwater than I am. For sure.
Well, I mean, we grew up saltwater fishing, and I think I grabbed it a little more than he did because I was a little older than he was. But man, I'd spend months working sport fishing boats with Jeff Jessup and all the guys down at Redondo, and I kind of cut my teeth down there. He comes back, gets me in the freshwater. I take a little hiatus from salt, but then now I'm like back into it more than ever. I love it.
Yeah. So how would you try to win that tournament?
I'm not saying. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna have a Texas rig. I'm gonna have probably a swim bait. Big fish. I'm trying to think of like a big. I mean, I usually just go down there for bites.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to catch fish. But I mean, I just throw a big Texas rig. I think that's with a tungsten weight, clicking that around the bottom on rocks.
Yeah.
Money.
I think if you do that, I'll probably throw some reactions if that's going.
Only problem with those crankbaits, man.
They get stuck.
Yeah.
I was just thinking if I'm fishing from the shore, I'm not throwing that A-rig.
Yeah.
I never use a crankbait. I always try.
Yeah.
After like this 10th cast, done.
Yeah.
Going back to what I know best.
I did that the other day on a $14 deep diver. It made me so upset.
And I just went and got it.
Snowballed after that. I was so mad, dude. Everything was going wrong, Mike. I just posted a video on it. Everything was just, my rod broke in half. I cast it into a tree 1 billion times. I lost my crankbait. It was one of those days where you just got to get off the water and take the loss, man. It was so rough. So I haven't been that frustrated fishing in a long time. Philip, have you?
Frustrated fishing all the time.
Yeah.
Remember when Conrad broke my
Oh
off?
my God, that was the best, dude. So
Let me set this up.
Yeah, okay. You set it up. Yeah,
We're bluefin tuna fishing, and we just got to the spot. We had them come up. It wasn't looking good because it looked like these fish weren't going to go for us. Because we would throw chum, a couple would come up, move to another zone, throw chum, a couple would come up. This is exactly how it played out. 2 spots, nothing. Get to the second spot, I get bit, and it just drops my bait. I'm like, damn. 4th spot, we get there, and this entire trip, we started off fishing yellows in the morning. This entire trip, I'm telling my little brother, watch where you're casting. You don't want to throw over people.
He's still he's greener than he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot greener. He thinks he's God's gift to fishing. And he's not. He's not there yet. He'll get there. He's just not ready.
He's not bad. He's good, but he's still got some things to figure out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how you grow as a fisherman.
Yeah, you got to make those mistakes.
Take it from me. I'm the best. So we go. I throw a bait out on the 4th spot, dude. The fish are crashing all around the boat. The adrenaline's going, and I feel the bite. And I'm letting them take it. Throw it in gear. I hook up. I see his line over my line, and I'm like, Jesus. And I'm getting spooled. This thing's just not spooled, but it's taking a lot of the line. His line gets into a knot to where my line's taking his line. He thinks he's bitten. He goes and sets the largemouth jig hook set, dude. Whack! And my fish pops off, and I just looked at him, dude, with fire coming out of my eyes.
Yeah, and then
So
I was
pissed.
watching it, and I was like, yes, I get
You're
to
enjoying it.
I get to do this.
I'm like so mad. Before I get a word out, he looks at me and goes, I'm sorry I messed that up. That's my fault. And I go, okay, we're good. We're good. We're walking away, and Patrick's just going, boy, we would have had one in here if Conrad didn't fuck that all up. And I go, I have my back,
fired him back up.
I had my back turned. I go, that dumb motherfucker. Going off, dude. Conrad goes, you said you were going to let it go.
I fired the school back up, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you do it.
Threw some chum out.
Yeah,
I did.
exactly. So I'm very interested in how you came up with the idea. I know you kind of covered it a little bit, but where did you come up with that art? How do you make that stuff? How did you get that style?
That style, which is,
What would you describe that style as?
that style. It's kind of like, I don't want to sound, like
I'm not
a
trying
graph,
yeah.
like a graph. What I got it from is because growing up, you guys grew up in Redondo,
Yeah.
I grew up in Lomita,
Right,
Harbor
right.
City, so
Yeah.
you know how it is right
Yeah.
there. So
It's like street art.
yeah, street art.
Yeah.
Then just the way I was dressing, little bag clothes, a hoodie,
Yeah.
backpack.
I think that's why it's so unique to this industry is because you don't really see that kind of fishing brand out there with that style to it.
For me, when I saw it, I thought SoCal skater, and I might be wrong, but
Yeah.
I like that style
No,
a
it's
lot.
definitely deep in the roots of like SoCal.
Well, you don't have to describe it. He's right here.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was.
You're describing it too, motherfucker.
I say that was my perspective.
Oh.
That's what I was. That's actually what I was shooting. That's what I was shooting for.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, like I said, it was a skateboard. If I wasn't skateboarding, we're fishing. If
Yeah.
I wasn't fishing, it was like kind of like graph. It wasn't graph. It was back to skateboarding. You know, it was like either or. You know, and I just try to fit the logo, what fits me.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
Change the bucket. You know, if you look at the guy, he's holding a fish bucket, skateboard, fishing rod. All the lures and all the crankbaits that we use in saltwater are just fresh and salt.
Yeah,
And I just went with it. Swim with it.
that's super cool. That's awesome. We need to make sure we're almost out of shirts. We got one for you though, for sure. Hopefully, we're
He
almost
has
out.
no idea.
I gotta go look. It depends on your size. We ran out of some sizes, but we'll get you one. And hopefully, we can put together a little prize package for your tournament too. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Doomsday sponsors us. We can throw some baits in there from Doomsday. I'm sure they'll be happy to get out there and help our local fishermen catch more fish.
Yeah, and I think we went over this already, but do people sign up day of tournament at the location, or do they sign up online?
They could DM me. You guys could DM me. Just be ahead. But most of the time is people pull up because a lot of people tell me like I'm going for sure, and they come and I'll write them down and they'll be like, oh, I can't make it.
Yeah.
So I got a head count already. It's like, all right, whatever. I just say not pre-order, just registration.
Yeah.
Just because
It helps.
It helps me get an idea.
Yeah, of how many people are gonna be there and all that
Exactly.
stuff.
We've thrown it out a couple times. What is your Instagram for people to find you?
Grimyfish
Grimy
Perfect.
Fish. Okay, just so we get it on the
Company.
record.
Grimyfish Company.
Okay.
Grimyfish. Is it spelled Grimyfish Company? The whole
The whole thing, yes.
GrimyFishCompany. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
You're impressed, dude. I can
little
tell.
bit, little
You
bit. I
see
didn't-
that?
I didn't
That was
think
quick.
You were gonna see the letters through your sunglasses.
But once again, it's a kayak. The sharp pounding, there's no sharp pounding on this on this tournament.
So this one's a kayak tournament.
And
You got-
Scout.
Oh, so we gotta get in the kayak. All right, well, we gotta face our fears,
Are
filler.
you gonna go out there?
I think I want Conrad's kayak.
I'm gonna bump him.
I got extra. I got two if you guys want to use mine.
We might take you up on that. We got one for sure. I don't know if my little brother comes, then we might need him.
I'm gonna use his if he's not gonna go.
No.
Because I know his is fat fuck certified, and
Yeah.
I know yours is probably to your weight, and I'm gonna sink that motherfucker.
I need to have no chances of going in. So you're getting something
I don't
else.
want
Conrad
to
already told me I
just
got
watch then, dude.
it. No.
If you-
Can we both go in it?
No, dude. No, such a bad idea.
Yeah, the angler for what is the pro angler from the Hobie series of the kayak.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. You could put two people on it, two big people on it.
Oh, really?
They're sturdy.
I don't want to be on them.
That's what I flipped in Alaska.
I feel like yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody
Fuck that.
flipping anything. It's got to be all in my control because I know him. He's gonna mess around and then fall in.
100%.
Yeah, so I don't want you on my kayak at all. Tell that story when you flipped in Alaska.
It was terrible.
It was the
Were you
worst.
fishing?
No.
I wasn't there, but it seemed like the worst idea ever. You guys got in kayaks to go look at a grizzly bear?
We went to go, me and my
Or is it a
cousin
brown
Chelsea. It's 110 pounds wet. She's like, let's go get in these kayaks and get closer to these grizzly bears. And I say bears because it was a mother grizzly with 3 cubs.
Jesus, dude, why are you going to
So
go mess
she's
with
like,
that thing?
She's like, let's go over there. And I'm a little buzzed. I had been fishing all day. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go with my cousin. Just bear attacks, I'll protect her. What the hell am I going to do against a grizzly? Nothing. So
Nobody's gonna
we
do
get in the kayaks. The thing's gone, luckily. She's like, let's just go down the coast a little bit and we'll just chill. And I have my speaker. I'm chilling, dude. I'm vibing out in this kayak. I got
little-
music bumping on my
little
little
buzzed up.
speaker, little
Little
buzz
buzzed
going. I got a fresh silver bullet in my hand, and I'm just chilling. And I looked at her and I go, I've had enough. Let's go back. I take one paddle to turn that thing around, and it was the slowest rollover. I just started going.
Oh.
And as it's going, it was so slow, I said the F word 3 times. I'm just going, fuck, and I'm in the water, dude. Now I'm under the water. The first thing that pops into my head is, how is my speaker still playing music underwater? It's just going.
Was it waterproof or no?
I have no, I guess.
Got out that day.
I could hear the music under the water. My phone broke.
Oh my god!
But the next thing that pops in my mind is, there's killer whales here. And I am panicking. The first move I make, I come out of the water and I'm just laying on the bottom of the kayak. And I'm like thinking, and my cousin is like, I'll get you beer cans, because there was like 3 that were floating away. And she's grabbed them, and I go, leave them, get me out of the fucking water.
Was the water cold?
No, but I was scared of killer whales. In my mind, they're just sitting under me, looking at me, and I'm just like,
with that music going, calling them in, dude.
Free Willy? Oh.
I feel like that would go through my head. Like that speaker's like calling them in. Yeah.
And so I finally like go and I get under the water. I'm flipping this kayak the way you're not supposed to do it at all. I'm pushing on one side with one arm and trying to shove it up, where you're supposed to kind of grab the other side and rotate it, right?
I never flipped. So
me neither. That was that was the first
I didn't even want
time.
to laugh because I'm on the kayak so much, and that's karma, bro.
So I'm sitting there trying to shove it up, and it's not going up, and I finally just gave it everything I got, and I got it over, and I come up out of the water. I'm looking at my cousin Chelsea, like, I'm so strong, and I just pull myself up out of the water, and I'm sitting in it. The meantime, the guides, they put out a man overboard on the radio.
God, dude.
So like they ran down the dock, and they come over, and they like see me, and I go, someone tell you a fat guy fell in? They start laughing, and they're like, you want to ride in? And I was like, no, I'm good. And they're like, just get in the boat. I was like, yeah, you're right. And I just paddle over, I get in. I'm like, Chelsea, get in the boat with me. And she's like, no, I'm not going with you.
Yeah, she didn't want to. She wanted to show that she was a better kayaker.
That day she was.
That dude, and around the same time he was in Alaska, I was in Florida fishing out of a kayak. Almost as similar. Well, pretty much a similar situation. So I'm fishing like redfish and snook and stuff like that, and I see like there's dolphin that cruise through there, which those scare me. I don't know why. I know they won't do anything, but I just don't like to be around anything big in the water. I've seen like one gator one time, I think, and I see a big animal in the water on this bank. And so I'm like, oh, what is that? It could be a big, it's probably like a 4 foot, 5 foot long animal. And I roll up to it, and it swims off like a shark. And I'm like, God, I wish I didn't. My biggest fear is sharks. It's like, I wish I did not see that. I wish I didn't see that. I'm all freaked out. Then, like, the next thing that happens is a dolphin crashes against the shore, like, chasing bait, and I thought it was the shark. So that freaked me out. And then everything kind of calmed down for a couple hours. And then I figured out that I could stand up on my kayak and sight fish these fish. And I was standing up, pretty stable, and, kind of got to be careful. And all of a sudden, before you know it, I'm going into the water, and I just drop everything. And I fall into the water, and it's usually pretty shallow there, like 3 foot, 4 foot deep. My feet don't hit the bottom, and that absolutely terrifies me. I'm wearing the hat that I met my wife in, and it falls off, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm out of here. I'm like, and I just fly back up into the kayak, and my hat floated up. I was like, oh, thank God. But like, I imagine the same thing. Like, I'm falling on that shark that I just saw, and it's gonna tear me up.
It's just I imagine that my feet were dangling, and 6 inches below my feet were 3 orcas looking at it. Yeah. I'm just like, oh my God. It's just all in my head. Didn't see an orca the entire trip, but I know as soon as I fell in, they were under me.
And the background on this, Mike, is like when we were kids, we used to snorkel and do all that stuff. And in Mexico, he had a mama orca and baby orca pull up on him and check him out and see what he was.
It was the most terrifying.
My perspective, I was in the water too, is just a gigantic black fin behind him. So I was like, he's getting eaten. And the captain was yelling shark in Spanish.
So I'm like, because he was further, he froze to where the deckhand.
I couldn't move.
The deckhand was snorkeling with him because he was young. You were probably, what, 10?
Yeah.
He was younger. So he froze, and the deckhand grabbed him and swam him towards the beach. I was close to the boat, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to the boat. And I'm holding all these clams and shit, and I wouldn't let it go of them, and I'm going. Yeah. And I just see this big fin between me and the boat go like this, and I go, I'm fucked. I look into the water, and it's a mother orca and its calf, and I go, it's way worse than a shark. And I just the captain said I had a wake coming off my ass because I was swimming so fast. I don't know how I got up on the boat, but I got to that transom, dude, and I swear to God, I kicked as hard as I could with my fins, and I was up on it because I never grabbed it. I had the clams and everything in my hands. I must have looked like a mermaid jumping out of the water.
And then so I was like back farther. I was the only one without fins swimming against current. So the dude grabbed me. I couldn't move either. I was paralyzed in fear. And he goes, "You want to go to the beach or the boat?" And I was like, "The beach. Go to the beach." And he was like, "Oh, it's just a killer whale." And I was like, "Just a killer whale?" Like, what do you mean?
Those guys, I saw them last year too. Jose and Jose, they're freaking good dudes, man.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah,
deckhands down
Palmas
on
de
Palmas de Cortez. Big shout out to those guys. Really cool dudes.
I'm trying to. Yeah, that's why. I've been focusing down Baja a lot. San Quentin.
Yeah, San Quentin. Yeah. That place is awesome.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
Dude, the surf fishing there is insane.
I caught some big. This recent, I caught a bar perch.
Yes.
It was big.
What are you using, bait or lures?
I was using a live crab.
Yeah.
They're on
Whoa,
the rocks,
that's
and
cool.
I just snatched it up,
Mm-hmm.
live, and I just took the pinchers off, throw them on there, throw them out there.
If you ever go down there with like Ahi USA's makes these things called flash jigs. They're so good. Throw it way out there, and you just do a little slow, steady wind, pop it a couple times, and they just smoke it. I mean, we must have caught 30 surf perch that day.
Yeah, it's just that place is magical, man. There's
Yeah.
so many of those things.
And there was these big fit. It's funny because he posted a video the other day on the Instagram, and it made me die laughing. Where
I hate getting hooked.
there's these big crabs in the water that you can barely see them as you're walking out into the surf.
I forgot that's how I got hooked. I didn't remember how I got hooked.
Yeah. So he comes up behind me to stick my foot with his rod while he's holding his lure in his hand. And he wraps that line, it was braid, around my foot. And he pokes me, and it scared the hell out of me to where I went running. But I was wrapped in a line and dragged that hook, buried it into his palm.
And I notoriously pass out.
I couldn't believe he didn't pass out.
That was the first time I didn't. I was like, I'm going to not pass out this time.
'Cause I told my dad as soon as it happened, I go, start recording now. He's going to pass out.
Yeah, I don't know why I pass out. I just go out. My little brother, I had a trout on one.
This is the best story.
This is this is the most I've ever passed out at once, I think. I don't know. My body shuts off. I have no idea
He
why.
hooks a trout on an LV 500.
Yeah, a lipless crankbait. I hooked a trout.
got
Go to
two-
take it out.
For the viewers at home, 2 really sharp treble hooks in the bottom of it. And
So one treble hook's in the fish's mouth. Other one gets buried in my hand. And so it's flopping, pulling my hand. And I'm already getting woozy. And my little brother's with me. He doesn't know that I pass out. I go, "Conrad, I'm going to pass out. Don't freak out." Like, whatever. I'm like, I'm hitting this thing on the head with a rock.
Vietnam,
I'm trying to kill this thing.
at Lake Irvine, it's a Vietnam reenactment of him.
I
and
got a
trout.
rock, and I'm beating this thing over the head as I'm like going out. And I go out. I always sit down because I don't want to fall. And I go out, and I wake back up. And Conrad's like as white as me. He's freaked out. He thinks he legitimately thinks I'm dying. And I'm like, "Oh, Conrad, go get pliers, please." So he's like goes and runs. And at this point, like I've almost killed the fish. I go out like 2 or 3 more times. Conrad comes back, and he's fully peed his pants.
Covered in piss.
He's a little kid. He's like 8 or 9 or something. Because he thinks I'm dying. And so he's like, "Patrick," he's like really worried about me. He's like, "Oh, when I looked at you, your eyes were white." He's like freaking up, like, "I'm fine. This just happens." And then I woke up again to my mom trying to rip it out with pliers, went right back out. Finally got it. I think I passed out like 5 or 6 times.
That's
that
not
one.
good for
that
you.
was the worst time. You know what it does feel like though? You do feel well rested when you get back
Yeah.
together. I don't know why. It's
Just
pretty
the
cool.
blood or just the pain?
I have no idea. It's not the pain.
Well, you've always kind of.
It's not the
when you cut
blood.
your knee open, you passed out.
It's if something happens to me, my body, I just get woozy. I've passed out giving blood. I've passed out when I cut my knee open. Usually when I break something, I'll get woozy.
Dude, like if he does it today, it's the funniest shit you'll see. It's so funny.
So yeah, I don't know why it happens, but it does. I don't know why. I can't believe we haven't got it on camera yet.
I know. I'm like, he did that at a laundry, dude, and like I made 2 casts with this little wake bait. 2 like 3 pound, like they were smoking it, and he goes to take the bait out, and I'm like trying to get back in, and it just swung it right into his hand. He's just passing out.
I gotta go to the car.
We go to the car. He's got the wake bait in his hand. He goes, "I'm gonna pass out," and I go, "Do you want me to take it out while you're sleeping?" And he's like, "No, don't touch it." He goes to sleep, and I grab pliers, and I'm pulling his hand off the like thing, and it's just going like this, and I'm pulling, and he wakes up, and he goes, "I told you not." He goes right back out, and I'm trying to get it out. I never got it out. He ended up getting it.
Yeah, so that's a defect that I
Yeah.
have. That and vision.
You were wanting to go to the ER for that, and I'm like, "Do you want to go to the ER and spend $1,000 for someone to pull this out, or just do it here?"
That's a good point. You're right. But I think we're all itching a little bit to get fishing, right?
I'm game.
You guys, you ready to fish, Mike?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool. Let's close this podcast out.
Let's give Grimyfish another shout out. Where
Exactly.
can we find you at?
Grimyfish on Instagram. Company. That's where you can find me at.
So check out Grimy on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his clothes, dude. I'm telling. If you're SoCal, if you're a local, it just fits, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get some more stuff. All right, it's better than our shirts for sure.
Once
Yeah.
again, I'm sorry. I choke up over my words, so once again, I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
No,
You're
you're good,
good.
dude.
It's just like,
Have you been listening?
Have you heard
first
him
time?
talking this whole damn time?
Yeah.
It sucks.
God dang it, Mike! You're really bringing the podcast down. We're such professionals over here. But yeah, check out his stuff. Like I said, man, I don't have just anybody on this podcast. I like the people I like, the work I like. I get them on the podcast. Like I love Mike, dude. He's Mike's Fishing Adventure. He just brings such a good energy to the
Yeah.
podcast. I love your work. I wouldn't have you on here if I didn't. I don't just get whoever I can on.
Right.
I want to get people that I really want to talk to, that I really enjoy something they do or whatever it is. Philip doesn't really. He just shows up.
See, I can relate to that. That's all my logos, all my patterns. I actually put time and effort in it. I just don't throw logos out or patterns out that it doesn't mean nothing to me. You know. Like, the second one, it's a barracuda with a jig.
Yeah.
Took my daughter fishing. She was like, "Yeah, I love when we have the barracuda run. Just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
stop. Like, anything you throw at them, they're just hitting. And there's some big slobs with them.
Yeah.
I remember one time I hooked up, giving my daughter, and she just after that she was like 8, 9 years old, pulling on it.
Yeah.
And after that, she's like, "Dad, how come you just don't come out with a T-shirt like that?" I'm like, "You know what? We should." Got a barracuda, got the jig in her mouth and the teeth. It's pretty cool. So I came up, we all sat down, me, my wife, my daughter. We think this come out. Had some guy from another silk screener. He's out of Cali Mucho, and he was the one who actually designed everything. And I told him, "This is my thoughts. This is what I want in it.
Yeah.
And this is what I want."
That's super
And he
cool.
sketched it out. I was like, "Nah, I don't want that."
Yeah.
Did it like 3-4 times.
So there's like a story behind every
every
design.
picture, yep.
Yeah, if that's the way we made our shirts, I think they'd be too graphic.
Mine would have a lot to do with double doubles from McDonald's. Sausage, McMuffin, egg, and cheese. Woo!
Yeah, extra sausage. Gotcha.
These guys.
All right, let's get fishing. I want to put Grimy on some
Let's do
quality fish. We're gonna do skipping docks checkout after the cast. That'll be the video. We'll have these two mic'd up and see how they do out there. I'm just gonna be filming, hanging out,
What else
making
we
sure
got
I get the
coming up?
shots. We got Grimy's tournament on September 30th. We're planning on doing that. We're bluefin tuna fishing next weekend. I think you have Nick Ramirez coming out
Nick
on
Ramirez
September
after.
8th.
Yeah, September 8th.
Then we have Carnell Lee after that. He just came out with a new song called Summer Finessin', which I'm excited to talk to him about. Man, that song it's a rap that's made for bass fishermen. He's talking about thermoclines in it. He's talking about finesse bass fishing. It's a really cool song, man. I mean, I think it takes a lot to go into that genre and make kind of like you make something that you like, that you do. That's exactly what he did with that.
And we already did a podcast with him. And it was fun.
Yeah, he's
good
a
time.
really good dude. I showed him that trout at the tournament. He started dying laughing.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah. We'll bring that up again. And then as for us, I mean, I love making skits. I got some skits in the back burner that I really want to put together. They're just missing a few key actors I need to get out here for that. We love doing comedy skits. Whether
Yeah,
they're
that's-
funny or not, we're still going to make them.
We think they're funny because of how cringy we are.
I don't think it's, well, it could be. I don't know. I wouldn't know, right? That's the definition of cringy. But cool. I think we got a lot coming up, a lot of adventure videos, a lot of skits, a lot of podcasts. Please do yourselves a favor. Check out Grimy's work, man. You will not be disappointed in his art and his fits. It's great stuff. And let's go get this man in the water and get him some fish.
All right.
See you guys later.